Hey everybody, Jeremy here with Nitro Gear and Axle. Today I wanted to talk about a couple new products that we have out, the Nitro Drive Flange kits. We have for two different kits. One is a 35 spline kit for use with Dana 60 front axles, or in our application here, we've actually got a Curry 9-inch on the rear that is full float with a double splined axle. So we've actually used our Nitro Drive Flange kit on the rear of our 9-inch here. Typical application though is Dana 60 front ends with 35 spline outers. As you can see, I've got all the components of the kit laid out here. You've got your drive slug. You've got a blank cap. That serves two purposes here. You'll notice that it's got 8 holes in it, 4 of which are not tapped with threads and 4 of which are tapped with threads. So when we're installing this on a Dana 60 front or a full float rear application, we're going to drop the slug into our wheel hub. This here is our wheel hub on a full float application. We're going to slide the slug in. We're then going to take and put our spacer in here. We're going to line our through holes up with the threaded holes. And this is all gonna get held in here with a very large snap ring, okay? I'm just kind of showing you how it all goes together. The snap ring's gonna hold that all into place. And then you've got a cap to cap it all off, sealed with an O-ring, and obviously our 4 bolts. The small snap ring here goes on the end of your axle shaft to keep it from floating too far in or out, basically. You'll also notice that the back side of the cap is recessed so that your axle shaft isn't going to rub on the cap. We talked about our 8 holes here. When using this, you're going to go through the through hole, so that this is going to actually go through the through hole and bolt into your drive slug. Now, if you ever break a U-joint or an outer stub axle, you can actually disassemble this. You can pull your slug out, put that back in your Jeep, then put this in with your snap ring, and now your threaded holes, your cap is going to bolt right onto there. The advantage to that is that you can basically take the slug out so that that wheel is no longer being driven in the instance where you broke an outer stub or an axle U-joint. So very nice kit, applicable to anything full float, Dana 60 front, or a custom rear with a double splined rear axle shaft. That's our 35 spline drive flange kit. The other kit I was going to show you today, this is kind of a unique kit. This is a Dana 44 drive slug kit, and it is 30 spline. This is for older Dana 44s that utilize locking hubs. Okay, so Wagoneer, full-size Wagoneer, your Cherokee Chiefs, your J trucks, your 73 to 87 Chev trucks and GMCs, your Dodge, your Ford, any of those older vehicles that used a spindle wheel hub and wheel bearings and locking hubs. So this is our Dana 44 30 spline drive flange kit. Again, as you can see, it's got a pair of what we call slugs. These are splined on the outside, splined on the inside. One set of splines obviously splines up to your axle shaft, and the outside splines spline to your wheel hub. Okay, all these vehicles that I'm mentioning were 19 spline from the factory. So Nitro does offer 30 spline outer stub axles. We offer 2 different part numbers. One is a 9.72, which is applicable to most of your Fords, as well as Wagoneer and Cherokee Chief that were drum brake. Then we also offer a 9.94 inch long one that's applicable to all your Chev GMC corporate 10 bolt and Dana 44, and all of your J truck, Wagoneer, and Cherokee Chief with disc brakes. So 2 different 30 spline outer stubs to go with our drive flange kit. 2 slugs, 2 axle shaft snap rings, and 2 snap rings to hold the slug into your wheel hub. O-rings, bolts, and a nice cap here with the Nitro logo. I'll go ahead and unpackage that so you can see them a little closer. There's a good shot of the Dana 44 30 spline drive flange cap with logo. The one thing I would like to point out on this 30 spline conversion for older Dana 44s is that sometimes the 30 spline axle won't fit through the inside diameter of the spindle. So there has been times where we've needed to lathe out the ID of the spindle so the axle fits through. What we ran into is that the inside diameter wasn't a machine surface, so it's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes they fit, sometimes they don't, but that is a pretty easy fix. Also, Nitro does offer replacement spindles that'll work with our axles. So if you're in the market for some of Nitro's drive flanges, you can visit us at nitro-gear.com or give one of our sales guys a call and they'd be more than happy to help you out with all your questions and concerns.